Hi, this is David, sometimes called The Least, doing a video log or a vlog, as I believe they're supposed to be called. So I'm going to talk about a few things. First, latest news in Crimson Dark, which I know a number of people are excited about. Then I'll talk a little bit about my book, Fires of Caldarus, and then I'll just finish with some personal stuff. So, yes, Crimson Dark has indeed been announced as coming back, currently in just a one-shot. So there'll be a single short storyline. I haven't worked out exactly how many pages it's going to be, but it is going to be a single chapter, essentially. That'll be focusing on Carrie, Commander Carrie Tyrell. To give her, due respect. Now, the obvious question, will I continue with Crimson Dark after this one shot? I don't know. I'd like to, certainly. But it is a huge commitment to actually go back into producing the webcomic on a regular basis. So one of the reasons for doing this one shot is to get a feeling for what does the production feel like now? What's the workflow like? How much time do I have to put in to get results that I'm happy with? So I'm actually out of the research and development stage now. I've worked out how I'm going to do it. I'm now in pre-production, where I'm building assets, polishing off the story, and I'm hoping to actually go into production maybe in a week or two, once I've got everything ready to go. Of course, the real question then is how quickly can I get the story out? Because if I then want to go on to just continue putting out multiple pages every week, then I need to be able to get everything built and done at a pace that is achievable without me going completely insane, which is possible. More insane. So once the story's done, I'll be doing layout. I'm already building assets. If you're a fan of Crimson Dark on Facebook, you have probably already seen the redesigned Scimitar and the redesigned Kestrel. I'm going to be needing a few more ships for this story, so I'm working those. I've got some more location stuff to build as well. So that's where Crimson Dark is at the moment. It's nice to be working on it again. It's good to be revisiting some old friends, you might say, or at least one old friend in Carrie. Now, my book, Fires of Caldarus. First of all, thank you to people who have bought it and read it. I did see an increase in sales after I mentioned it on the Crimson Dark page. So thank you for that. It still hasn't sold particularly well. There have been some reviews coming in. They've all been very positive. Again, thank you for those who wrote them. I'd love to spread the word about it a bit more. So far, it has basically only been bought by people whom I've directly told, hey, I wrote a book, please go buy it. If you don't know anything about my book, it's a fantasy story. It's intended for a young adult audience, but I've written it so that adults should enjoy it also. Certainly the adults who've read it have enjoyed it. The setting is a fantasy setting with dragons and magic, and you've got fantastical creatures like drakes and worms and wyverns and that sort of thing. And then it's been conquered by a 17th century colonial empire, like Great Britain when it ruled the seas. And this colonial empire has just come in and said, no, dragons are monsters, they must be hunted down and destroyed. Magic is illegal, mages are the spawn of the devil, essentially. And the story is actually about a teenage girl called Namara. She's from this colonial empire. She's actually, come to this land from her nice, comfortable home overseas with her father, because her father's, taken on an important job here. And so she's just turned up in this place that's been conquered that, as far as she knew, it's going to be just filled with savages and monsters and all sorts of crazy things. But she very quickly discovers that there's certainly more to these conquered people than she thought. And it's a much more complex world than she was expecting. And the other part of that story is that secretly she's a mage as well. She's a magic user. So part of her time in this land is about exploring her own ability as a mage, even though her own people have declared her an illegal person for all intents and purposes. So that's my book, Fires of Caldarus. It's available now, Amazon, iBooks, Barnes & Noble, Kobo. I think that's all of them. I'm sorry if I've forgotten one that it's on. It's $4 US, so, cheaper than a Happy Meal, I think. I don't know, cheaper than most lunches, cheaper than a cup of coffee from some places. So please check it out, read it, and if you like it, review it. 5-star reviews are particularly helpful if you happen to think it's that good, because I'd really like people to learn about it without me having to sell it and pitch it and so forth. So those are my two big projects at the moment. Apart from that, if you follow me on Twitter, or if you're a personal friend on Facebook, you'll know that I'm taking a lot of photos these days, particularly of birds, because I like birds. And my lovely camera is currently in for repair, which is annoying. The good thing is it's under warranty, so I won't have to pay for it, I hope. But they're saying the turnaround looks like it's going to be 3 weeks or so. So that's 3 weeks where I won't be taking photos of all my lovely birds, which I'm a little bit upset about. But if you have been enjoying the photos I've been putting up on Twitter, there will be more. Just not as many, because I'll be digging through my backlog, and they won't be recent. I do have another cheap camera, but it's no good for birds, really. It doesn't have the zoom, or doesn't have the high image quality either. It doesn't cope so well in low light. Apart from that, I'm playing lots of games. It's still my default entertainment. Back to playing a lot of XCOM 2 at the moment. I've just started playing Necropolis from Harebrained Schemes. They're the studio who recently made the Shadowrun video games, based on the original tabletop role-playing game. And so they did a fantastic job with the Shadowrun games. And Necropolis I've only put a few hours into it so far, but I've had a fair bit of fun with it. It's people have been comparing it to Dark Souls. I'm not a huge fan of Dark Souls, but this game works for me. It has that slow, deliberate, heavy combat to it. But it's more of a rogue-like structure, in that you will die, and when you die, it's game over, you start a new game. But there is a bit of progression from one playthrough to the next, so you don't feel... Well, I haven't felt so far that I've completely wasted everything. For me, the real standout quality of Necropolis is just the art style. It is beautiful. I love that it's a minimalistic style. It's not a photorealistic approach. It's lovely sort of flat-shaded, very simple textures, but the combination of the architecture, the design, the lighting, I love it. It's one of the best looking games I've played for a long time. Visually, think of something like Journey compared with, say, Tron. I know that sounds like a really weird mix, but it's just fantastic. Apart from that, I've been playing Overwatch, lots and lots of Overwatch. That's what I play when I need to just jump on the line and shoot a few people in the face, which, let's face it, every now and again you need to just shoot a few people in the face. So that's been good. I'm not a huge fan of competitive mode, because I'm not a particularly competitive person. I mainly play these things for fun, but no, Overwatch is still great. Having a lot of fun with that. So apart from that, on a more personal level, the depression is still a thing. Happily, it's not as bad as it used to be. I think these drugs that I'm on at the moment have been really helping sort of stabilize me. So the depression is still there, but no longer feels all-consuming and overwhelming. It feels like I can sort of hold it at bay as long as things aren't too hectic. Of course, curiously, now that the depression is less of an issue, the anxiety is more of an issue. It's almost, there might be sort of a yin-yang thing going on there. So lots of trouble sleeping, lots of trouble relaxing, but hey, it's more fuel for writing, isn't it? So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for sort of hanging around. I know there are a lot of Crimson Dark fans who've been waiting for a long time to hear some news. So thank you for waiting and being so patient. And I'm glad, I was really surprised and glad to see that there are still so many of you hanging around, waiting for more. So yeah, I hope I can reward your patience. Yeah, so thanks. Bye. I expect I'll be doing more of these in the future.